This is the One Life Podcast, hosted by Todd Lawrence. In this episode,
what's meant for you will not miss you if you do the work. Relationship that you encounter shouldn't be just for monetary exchange. There is intellectual exchange, there is a philosophical exchange sometimes, and that you have to really put in the time and the effort. An agent's not just going to fall out of the sky. You have to be actively doing the work, and that blessing will come. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken.
Today we are back. We are back at it with another episode of the One Life Podcast. This is One Life Podcast episode number 38 with your host, Todd Lawrence. And today we have the pleasure of sharing the microphones with yet another talented guest, man. This guy right here is known for his acting. He is a songwriter, soul singer. He has made appearances as a storyteller for the Nutcracker. He has also performed live in theater for shows like The Color Purple, The Wiz, Jesus Christ Superstar, Talk About Drama, and Kinky Boots. He's performed in tributes to the Latin Casino and Motown. He also has TV credits where he has performed with some big name superstars from Idris Elba to Adam Sandler. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome my man, Beaux Emerson, to the One Life Podcast.
Thank you for having
the One Life Podcast.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, thank you for coming through, man.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you've been tapped in with the podcast for a minute now, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know how you came up on my feed. Probably some skit.
Yeah, I don't know yet how we came across each other, but you started liking the podcast reels, and then I seen you had the blue check mark. Yeah, the blue, you went and bought your blue check mark?
I did.
Yeah, I ain't buy mine yet.
No, you know why? Because it's part of my investment. You invest in yourself.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, so let's get right
into it. I have
into
the talent to back it up, so I mean.
Talk that talk. Yeah, this is One Life Podcast episode number 38, man, with Beaux Emerson, man. Right. So, Beaux, you was born in Philadelphia.
Born in Philly. Born and raised, West Philly, near Overbrook, by where Will Smith grew up.
You pull the mark a little closer.
Here we go. By where Will Smith grew up. So
yeah,
fun times growing up in Philly. Went to Catholic school most of my life. So
yeah,
that was different.
Yeah, what was that experience like?
I mean, I didn't know no different. They had to wear a uniform every day. So I mean, when I started, we had nuns, and then by the time I got to high school, which was Roman Catholic High School in Philly, for the first half of high school, it was different.
Yeah,
wearing uniforms every day. You didn't have to think about you weren't get picked on for the wrong sneakers or anything like that because everybody wore the same thing.
Right. Yeah, I had to wear uniforms when I went to high school out here. Not when I was living in New Jersey. I didn't have to wear uniforms in New Jersey. But when I came out here, so you started school like
in uniform.
Yeah, you went straight to private school. Your parents put you straight in private school.
Yep.
Yeah, so y'all had good money. Yeah, you need some money to go to private school.
I was raised Catholic at first, so I mean, you get a couple of discounts, I should say.
Yeah,
a couple discounts, but
yeah,
wasn't too bad in the financial department.
Right, and so
I was broke. My grandmother and parents had the money.
They had the money to fund send you to private school.
A little bit. Yeah,
so you didn't experience no like ghetto-ness, like ghetto shit, like growing up in Philly at all, like
no, I mean now
leaving school.
Because I lived right around what do you call 60th and Cowler Hill, so near Jim Steaks, one of the original Jim Steaks, and so there was hood life around there. But yeah, after school, change clothes, change out of the uniform, and just be a regular kid, climbing walls and playing tennis ball, make it take it, all types of stuff, just getting in trouble.
Yeah. Were you into sports?
I could play flag football, and that was about it.
He said flag football. Your parents weren't let you get in the tackle.
No. Well, I was one of those kids that I was kind of chunky, and I had Coke bottle glasses, so.
Steve Urkel in it.
Bit,
yeah, but the big version. Pause.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely got teased. Definitely got called Urkel outside of school.
And you stopped wearing glasses. What, you got contacts now? Your vision?
Oh yeah, contacts. Yeah, my vision is forever impaired. But
yeah. I got 20/20. Thank God. But we all got different gifts in life.
Must be nice.
Yeah, we all got different gifts in life. You know what I'm saying?
I'll never have 20/20.
Yeah. So when did the acting come into play, man? Were you into plays like in high school growing up and stuff like that? When did that start?
Actually, I would probably say coming home from out of school, I had a group of friends that we would play like G.I. Joe, X-Men, all that kind of stuff, because he had a big yard and with a bunch of like obstacle things. So we would do like your fake karate chops and all that kind of stuff, play our own episodes of stuff. So I think it probably began there. If earlier, I used to get suspended in private school when I was like from daycare through first grade. I used to get suspended a lot for doing a lot of bad stuff, like pulling the fire alarms and hanging from ceiling fans.
Hanging from ceiling fans. Yeah, that's what y'all was doing in private school.
Yeah. I don't know how I got up there, but I was up there.
Yeah.
But
damn.
One of my punishments, aside from getting a beating, would be my other grandmother would make me sit in front of the TV, and I would have to watch, I think it was All My Children or something like that. So she used to make me watch the soap opera as punishment.
Was that in black and white at the time? Yeah, no.
No, I think they were in color in the night.
Okay, yeah.
But I think that was a combination of playing with the group of kids outside kind of sparked the interest. But I didn't do anything until high school. I think my first play I did was Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And then we changed high schools and I moved to Jersey, and I didn't do anything that first half of the year. And then I did Fiddler on the Roof. And then after that, I just did like church plays and stuff because my grandmother was a preacher and my dad's a preacher and stuff like that. So I had to do the church.
Right. So with that being said, is like you had to go to church every Sunday. You was in church. You was in church school. What do they call it?
Sunday school.
Sunday school.
Sunday school. And then at early on, we would have like anybody who growing up church, you got to do like 2 services every Sunday, sometimes 3.
Wow.
Depending on who you were. So that was a lot. But I think that's where the acting bug kind of came in. And then I always sang, but theater was when I figured you could put both of them together. And just kind of went from there. I went to school for audio engineering, and then I
went to college for audio engineering.
Yeah, so I know how to work all the equipment, but I just don't have the patience.
Yeah. So, it didn't grab your passion and interest. I can relate to that, man, because I had went to the Navy. When I went to the Navy,
okay.
I was a ship serviceman, so I went to barber school and learned how to cut hair and stuff.
Okay.
I didn't like cutting people's hair every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I learned it, but and it's a great hustle. Shout out all the barbers out there making good money. But that shit wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't stick to it. You know what I mean? I learned that it was cool. I enjoyed the experience, so to say. You know what I mean?
So now, all right, now I understand my little cousin. He actually went to barber school, cosmetology school, barber school, and he did it for about 2.5, 3 years. And then he just stopped. He just said, it doesn't do anything for me anymore.
Yeah, I used to see, like, when you cutting a person's hair, you never realize you see all the earwax, you see all the dry flakes falling off the back. You get this nigga got a dry ear, like what?
Because people don't wash their hair before they get their haircuts.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know I wash my hair, but it's different things. You got to go through different things in life. I feel like different experiences and try this, try that to find your true niche. Now, did it work like that for you, or did you just jump right into doing plays and then you said like, yo, I like this. I like acting?
No. I went to my grandmother who raised me said, I don't want my grandchild being on somebody's casting couch because, selling your soul or selling your body or whatever to get anything, because that's going to play with your mental health and, people dealing with unaliving themselves and all that kind of stuff. And we've seen the effects of people, especially in the entertainment industry, who have really, really given more than they should have given of themselves without the reward that they expected. So I went to school for legal studies and got my master's in legal studies like that. So I could
hold on, let me down around the applause. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we got an educated young man.
Educated, yeah, a little bit. So I would never have to. Bills would always stay paid, and so I used that to finance the dream. So, along the way, I stumbled upon different auditions and stuff, and it's like, oh, let's see if I can maybe see where this goes. So my first uh, big gig that I got paid to do was a singing server on the Spirit of Philadelphia. So you're singing for at least 200 and something people every time the ship goes out, and I would do two shifts a day. And I would do them on the weekends. So you're talking about 4 times a week. You're singing for 200 and something people at a time. So it builds your confidence in your gifts. You're exercising your talent and you're strengthening that stuff.
Yeah.
And then that led to me auditioning for The Color Purple. And here's a nugget: what's meant for you will not miss you if you do the work. So
Yes, sir. I like that.
I auditioned for that, and I didn't get the role of Harpo at first, and so they had picked somebody else, but I was still in the top 2 or 3. They picked somebody else, and it ended up that person couldn't do it for whatever reason, and the director came back and said, "Hey, well, I need you to sing this song one more time." Sang the song, got the part, and then from then we were sold out for all 13 of our performances, and so that really was like, oh, ding, ding, ding. I was like, I'm talented enough to do this.
Yeah.
And so I've been going ever since.
What age was that at?
27.
At 27.
27.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Prior to that, you was just doing different plays and stuff?
No, actually, I was just either using my degree. I work for Abercrombie and Fitch in Hollister.
Yeah, we could tell. Yeah, he came through with the outfit on. He
No.
brought the mannequin suit through. He said straight off the mannequin right here. Yeah.
I learned how to.
They got some good ass cologne in there.
Not when you have to spray it every 6 minutes, or when I was working, we used to have to go around and spray the mannequins and spray the tables.
Yeah, that's why it smelled like that 24/7. Yeah.
And then they put up boxes in the ceiling that would
Scent
timers. So
yeah.
But, no. Once you're in it every day, you're like, nah, this stuff stinks. But.
Right, yeah. So you say you got paid pretty good on your first gig that you got.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, you working Abercrombie doing this 9 to 5. Paying the bills,
still singing and stuff on the side,
and you getting money from singing on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a blessing in disguise right there.
Yeah,
because a lot of times, man, people chasing their dreams. It's like you start from the bottom and you got to work these 9 to 5 jobs, and you go broke kind of as you chasing your dreams. But you getting opportunities, but they not paying in the beginning.
Oh, I've done free gigs and things like that, and then you have to kind of weigh your options, because sometimes it is about the money, and then other times it's about the knowledge that you gain from the actual experience. Every relationship that you encounter shouldn't be just for monetary exchange. There is a intellectual exchange. There is a philosophical exchange sometimes of, I'm not just being your friend because I know, or being a part of your life because I know what I can get from you, but it's just building genuine connections. And then when you have those genuine connections, then somebody may say, hey, you know what? I'm on set and I need somebody who, I know you do photography. Yo, I have, a boy that does photography. Put your name in there. Now you have a gig. Now you're being introduced to somebody and creating connection that you didn't have before. Or, hey, I know a guy who's a podcaster, is a comedian, and also cuts hair. Hey, you need somebody to do such and such on set.
Yeah, I don't cut no hair, but yeah.
But I mean,
yeah, see, I'll tell you if the cut is good or not. See? But you know what I mean? That's about it. Yo, Jay, that's not in the camera, right? The live? It's not inside the view. I'm talking about it's not showing inside the viewer. All right, cool. Yeah. But yeah, I don't cut hair. I used to be a used to. Yeah. And I never cut. You ever cut your own hair?
Well, yes. The answer is yes. I did it at 10 and messed my hair up, and my grandmother sent me to summer camp.
Yeah, so you went to summer camp with a messed up haircut.
And they called me Poindexter.
Oh, man.
Shout out to Camp Summer Love in West Philly.
Yeah. Oh, you went to sleepaway camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You had money. Y'all had money. I went to sleepaway camp too, though. I grew up in the suburb. You know what I'm saying? My mom, she made it happen.
Okay. All right. Shout out to
you know
mom.
What I'm saying? She made it happen. Niggas thought I had money, but no, we made it happen. God did, yeah.
God always works.
Yeah, man. So how was shit, man? You started getting paid as you're working at Abercrombie. You're getting paid side gigs, getting paid here and there. So when did it fully take off to where you quit your job?
Well, I still work I quit Abercrombie because I just was not going to do retail anymore. I needed to have my weekends. because of gigs.
Right, and that's what I'm going through right now.
Really?
Yeah, weekends off, and then I work through during the week.
Yeah.
Then the weekends I'm doing, my
Regular
diligence and stuff. Yeah.
I use my legal degree, so been working at a law firm for this is 8 years at this particular firm. But the blessing for me is that this job, my boss, one is a guitarist and used to be signed to a label back in the day, and so he's like, when you're at work, you do your job. So I had the blessing to be able to take off from work and go film, shoot commercials, shoot TV, movies, perform. And I get paid twice. I get paid from the gig, but then I also get paid from the time that I put in at work.
At work, yeah. That's dope. So did you take the route of getting an agent? Like once you said, I'm going full fledged with this acting career.
The agent came later. I think I had to audition for my agent.
You had to audition for an agent?
I had to audition for her and her talent company. I had to do like some type of Nike 30-second.
How did you go? So like for people watching, it might be people that want to act out there.
Yeah.
How did you go to make that leap to say, who told you? You know what I'm saying? Because right now I'm doing stand-up comedy. I don't got no agent, no nothing. I just get these blessings, these bookings through blessings and people that know me. You know what I'm saying? So for you, how did you go and find an agent? Because I know me, one time I went on this, they got a whole bunch of different casting networks out there and stuff. I went on this one casting network one time. I had to audition for this like commercial. And then they were like, oh, you got to pay us this much before we support you. So how did you take the route?
You should never have to pay when you go to these casting things. If they really want you, you will not have to pay. You should not have to come out of pocket to be to be cast in something. So that's just one nugget there. Don't ever let anybody tell you any different.
Right.
For me, it came from my acting coach. I think I'd been in with him for about 6 months, and he said, "Hey, I have this agency, and she's looking for new faces. I think you would do really well. Here's a number. Here's setting up an audition." And I got on there, and I usually don't get acting. I'm not really nervous about singing. I'm a little bit more nervous because if you mess up the note, and people talk about you. But
right. Need to go take a sip of water and get back to it.
Get it together. But the acting thing just comes naturally because I always could speak well. And, so did the audition, and didn't cost me anything. Just did the audition and became one of the agency's new faces. And I've been with her for 3 years, and that's how I've got to do stuff with those various movies on different TV stations and stuff like that. So I think that you have to kind of really, really understand that it doesn't happen overnight, and that you have to really put in the time and the effort. An agent's not just going to fall out of the sky. You have to be actively doing the work, and that blessing will come.
Prayer and motion. Yeah.
You have to be working towards something. Faith without works is dead. So if you're not working towards anything, what are you doing?
Right. So what'd you do? You went on Google to find this agent?
No, like I said, my acting coach told me about it.
And you found how did you find an acting coach?
Oh, now that I did my Googles. I Googled acting coaches in Philadelphia, and then kind of looked at their Yelp reviews, I guess, and then kind of went by word of mouth in the Philly actor scene. Have you worked with this person? How's this teacher? Because some teachers are all about money. And then some teachers really believe in the actor or actress and really put forth an effort to help guide them, and not in a kind of mischievous way, but a genuine way. And that was what happened with me. So I'm grateful to my acting coach and my agent. But
Yeah. That's dope. So how did it work with the acting coach? Once you found your acting coach, like, would they set up like routines? Like, listen, we're gonna video chat these days, or you're gonna come in person these days? And
both. We do in person. Shout out to John Pallotta. We do in person and virtual. The one thing I like about my acting coach was he prepares people for on-camera acting, which is different from theater acting, but being trained in theater lends itself to, it's an easy transition to do television and film, or easy transition to be on camera. Because the idea when you're acting in front of a camera is to be as natural as possible. It's as if the camera is not there.
Right.
And so when you're doing theater, for the most part, there are no cameras unless they're taping a particular night. So you're always being present in the moment. And when you do theater, you can, every night you are discovering something new about your character that you maybe didn't understand before.
Right.
An acting class and on film, you have to capture the essence of what you think that character is at any point in time, and then you have to let it go, because it's not really up to you. It's up to you to give your best performance, but it really happens in the editing room.
Okay.
And so, I've done my best performance. I've brought it, and then it's when the director and the editor sit together behind the scenes and cut to different things, and then that's how they craft that story.
Got you. So what was your first audition like? Yeah, I know you say you auditioned for your coach, but I'm talking about like the first gig that you got, like they were like, come here, bring your headshot. And that's another thing. Before you even get into that, the headshots and stuff, everything that comes with like creating your portfolio. Yes. Talk about that.
Yeah, now that you are going to have to invest in yourself, and sometimes that is money, and so you have to invest in some good headshots because that is, in the entertainment business, people go off of looks. I mean, bottom line, it's what you present is what people see first,
right?
And so you want to get headshots, and they're different. Let me say this. Every photographer does not do good headshots. And so you really have to do your Googles and research and talk to other actors, other models, and find out who did they use. Look on other people's Instagrams, look on their websites, check out their pictures and see, oh, hey, she looks good here, or he looks nice. All right, let me contact their photographer and see. There's some people who just specialize in nothing but headshots. And so once you get a good headshot, then you're able to submit that stuff to casting sites. And there are even free sites out that you can use to get started.
Like what?
Actors Access is one. I can't think of the other one right now. But definitely Actors Access is one.
Actors
Access is one.
Gotcha.
And a lot of times people, or Backstage is a good one.
Backstage is free?
With a caveat.
Until you pay for the premium.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. And yeah, so those are the two that come to mind. Or what's one in Philly, a popular Huey Casting. You can set up a free profile on there, and you can get background work and stuff that way too. But definitely you have to invest in yourself, invest in good headshots, take acting classes. If you're a musician, take voice lessons. Just kind of, I'm in the fitness now too, so I'm firing on all cylinders in terms of being.
Yeah, we got Jamie Foxx in the building. Jamie Foxx nephew, Beaux Emerson. Yeah,
he's on my list of one of the people I want to work with though.
Yeah. Jamie Foxx is a legend. Shout out Jamie, man.
Multi-hyphenate, saying comedian.
Yep. Smokey Robinson.
Okay, you got a little bit.
You wanna be.
Okay.
Yeah, when I
got a little good falsetto.
Yeah, when I'm in the shower, no Diddy. You know what I mean? I kill that shit. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna be? Okay. Yeah, that's Jamie Foxx and Kanye. Yeah,
that sounds a little bit like Michael, but I'm not.
Oh shit. Yeah. He said I'm gonna take a sip to that one. I'm gonna take a sip too. I got you. Hey, hold on, toast to that. Don't leave it. Toast, man. Hey, so look, yeah, man. So boom, you got your headshots created.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got your agent. That first casting call.
It's nerve-wracking because you're going in. Essentially, there are people that look like you, and it's weird to go into a casting place and for an audition and you see someone that is your height, your skin tone, maybe has waves or curls or a beard, or just it's like a sea of people that kind of could be your first or second cousins somewhere. It trips you out, but then it's and there's you do have nervousness, because especially at first it's like you want to be picked, because it's like, oh my God, this could be my big break. This is going to be this is all I have. I got to put all the eggs in one basket. This is it.
Yeah.
And I have been so nervous where I have missed a line in the audition and I haven't gotten it. And it's been like, well, dang, I'm not good enough, which is not the case. It just means that you got caught up in your nerves and you were thinking about it for the wrong reasons. Am I in this to just be famous and for money, or am I in this for the craft and the art of telling stories?
Right.
And so I had to learn that what I really want to do is tell stories. And if I'm telling stories, then my talent will be with me, whether I am making $5 or making $50,000 or $5 million for something. That can never go away, but it's in the mindset. And so if anybody could be famous, as we can see clearly in today's
with
time.
Social media,
people sell their feet, pictures of their feet online, all types of stuff. So you could easily be famous and get whatever you want.
Right.
But at what cost?
OnlyFans, yeah.
Listen. Yeah,
to each his own.
To each his own. But it's one of those things where what is your reason behind what you're doing? Yeah. And so now I go into auditions. Doesn't mean that I don't get nervous, but I understand what I bring to the table. And when I'm in auditions, it's not about you necessarily picking me. It's about an opportunity for me to play. It's about an opportunity for give you my interpretation of what I think this character should be. And then I leave it out. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, there's another opportunity waiting.
Right. So yeah, what was that first audition like?
It was
And what was it for?
I can't tell you that because that's under NDA. But
what you mean under NDA? What does that mean under NDA?
Non-disclosure agreements.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So some things you any actors or anybody out there, sometimes when you audition for things, you sign these papers that say you cannot talk about what it actually was. You can say you auditioned, but you'll never know
what it was for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could point and say, hey, off camera, that was
right. I got you. So what was your first successful audition? Can you talk about that one?
Oh, for film, I did a film called
and where was that at?
In Philly. It's called Shaw, Victims of Injustice. And I had to do a self-tape. I got that through my agent. And it's on Amazon Prime now. And
go check them out, man. On Amazon Prime, it's called Shaw.
CHAAW, Victims of Injustice. And I got to work with, you asked about the audition process. So that audition was, thank God, it was a self-tape. So I didn't have to be actually in the room with anybody.
Right.
My agent sent me the script and highlighted in yellow what the person that I need, the character, read over that, created my own little backstory, and then did the self-tape in my basement and sent it off. And it was probably a couple weeks before I heard anything back. Got the part, but then showing up on set with working next to a great like Richard Lawson.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, his acting legend. His daughter is Bianca Lawson, who was on Queen Sugar and Buffy the Vampire Slayer and stuff like that. So,
right.
Having to do scenes with this acting legend I had to like really, really put my nerves to the side.
It didn't boost your confidence?
It did. I mean, after
that God has positioned you to be here.
All right. Yes. Because actually what really solidified that was when we did my first scene with him, my monologue. I did it in one take. And they were like, that's it. That's perfect. That's it. He's like, but let's just do one more just so that we have it. But you got it on the first take. And he was like, he was impressed. And he said, I'd like the fact that you brought it on your first try. He's like, that will serve you well.
Who said that to you?
Richard Lawson.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
And I was just like, oh,
pause.
Okay.
Yeah. No diddy.
His trial's coming up in May. That's going to be crazy.
He's on trial.
Mm-mm.
Okay, you know.
His trial begins in May.
Who's that?
Diddy's.
Oh yeah, I ain't know when his trial was and stuff, but I know we don't got him right now.
Yeah,
so
no.
until we get him back, I'm gonna keep saying no Diddy, man, no Diddy. We don't got him, no Diddy.
No doubt. No. But him telling me, giving me the boost of confidence and the green light from just that first shoot of that monologue was like, oh, okay, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And then from there, that was first big like audition that
was that. Did it take a long time? Like, were you there for hours and stuff?
We were there the whole day because we shot 2 different scenes.
Yeah.
So that my scenes I shot over a 3-day period. 6 days, 1 week, 3 days, 1 week, and 3 days another week, months later. But what did you say?
You were getting to the part of like the successful audition and how long it took for you to audition and stuff like that.
Sorry about that. But yeah, sometimes you will be on set for let's see, the longest I was on set almost 18 hours.
18 hours?
Yeah.
Just waiting for other people to go audition and waiting for your turn to
this was
number to be called.
This was no. Most of the times auditions, I maybe have to wait like half of a day to go in and be seen, and it's literally 2 minutes,
10 minutes,
at most. But filming wise, I think I was on set from 7 at night to 7 in the morning in Philly.
When you had got a role.
Yeah, that was for Hustle with Adam Sandler and Queen Latifah. So that one was yeah.
You was on scene with both of them.
I didn't have a scene with her, but I was in the
on
scene
set.
With her, him, and a lot of the 76ers were in that. That was a fun time, but it was hot because we shot that in the summertime.
Yeah.
It was 97 degrees at 8:00 at night.
Right. Yeah. And was that your first big like appearance like of auditioning?
No, that one I got that through. How did I get Hustle? I got that through Harry Casting. I got that one on my own. Sometimes too, you can get stuff outside of. Don't be proactive in your career. Too. Yes, if you have an agent, that's great, but also be on the lookout for your own opportunities. So you just can't rely on somebody to do stuff for you. You have to be active and participate in that.
100.
But I think the first time like that made anything on TV was Death Saved My Life with Megan Good on Lifetime. And I got that through my agent. That I didn't. Did I audition for that? I don't remember. I don't know.
And you was on set with Megan Good.
Yeah, like
yep.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, dope experiences.
Very beautiful in person, down to earth. And then anybody who's millennial growing up, it's like, you watch My Cousin Skeeter and things like that, or it's like, oh, okay.
I'm here. The lights is bright.
Yeah. But she was down there. She was cracking jokes and all that kind of stuff. And the funny thing about that, they filmed that over in Jersey at one of the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they had positioned the scene, I wasn't supposed to be in that particular part, but the director liked my suit and said, it actually was maroon. And so said, I want you put him next to her and then position the camera right there. And so when you watch the movie in the first few minutes, when she's giving a speech, there I am right there.
What movie is this?
This is Death Saved My Life on Lifetime.
Yeah.
But I'm right there. She gives her speech and I say, forget what I said to Jade or something like that.
Couple words, yeah.
Yeah. But all in happenstance of, last minute changed the wardrobe, and changing the wardrobe caught the eye of the director. Director loved it, and he moved me to the spot where, okay, here's camera time that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah. Did that gig pay well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most I've gotten paid for a gig was actually for modeling. And that was for a company in New York. And I get the first time I was able to get residuals, which means, if you don't know what that means, residuals means that you've shot something for a company and they use it for one fee, and then the next year, if they decide to renew it, you get 75% of that fee because they renew the usage of your image and likeness. And then some contracts have it where you can get 2 or 3 renewals.
Yeah.
So that particular gig, I'm on websites, all that kind of stuff, and I got really, really big check for that, the biggest check I've ever received, and then I got residual renewal for that, and I should be up for another renewal. So don't even have to go to work.
Yeah. Beaux, true inspiration, man. You giving me inspiration. You done brought the light to One Life Podcast episode number 38, man. This is beautiful, man.
I'm glad. I'm all about helping people.
Yeah, so what has been like your toughest challenge so far on your journey, like through your acting career?
Probably imposter syndrome. Because I think
you spoke about that. You told me,
because you want to be like, you feel like you don't deserve to be where you are sometimes, and you feel like a fake or a phony because. For myself, I didn't go to traditional school for acting. This is something that came natural to me. And then I took acting classes. There are people who go to Juilliard and Yale Drama School and all that kind of stuff. And then there are singers who, in my mind, are just flat out natural singers, but I had to take voice lessons. And so you kind of feel almost like you are second class because of the amount of work that you have had to put in. And then you're in these rooms with these other people who may be just as talented as you are, or may look like you're more handsome or something like that. Your mind plays tricks on you, and you think, "Man, I don't deserve to be here. I don't look like him. I don't sound like them. I don't have the educational background." But what's meant for you will find you when you're doing the work. What's God ordained is going to
smack you in your face.
Yeah. Or hit you in the head like a brick. So, yeah. But definitely the imposter syndrome is something that I think any creative kind of fights through. I don't know about you, but, as a comedian, I mean, is that something you struggle with?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm following you because I'm listening to everything you're saying. It's making sense because it's like, when you first start doing things and then you get around greats that have been doing it for years, and you just started, but you are naturally gifted. Like you said, a lot of us are naturally gifted at certain things. So when you start to actually chase your dream and your gift, what God has gifted you to be able to do, I feel like you get that in the beginning. Because once you start to get exposed and get around people who, like if you get around Denzel Washington, you said you was around Megan Good, you know what I'm saying, Idris Elba, Adams, and you just getting started, I feel like you feel like you got to get your bark up. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your roar up. You still little Simba. Yeah. So I can agree with that.
It's but again, as you work through these things, as you book more gigs, as you exercise your gifts and you're able to exercise that creativity, you become better at who you are as an artist, and so you begin to understand that I deserve to be in the rooms that I'm in.
Right.
I don't necessarily have to be the one that you pick, but I know I deserve to be here. And whether you choose me or not has no impact on my talent, because I know the amount of work, blood, sweat, and tears I have put into who I am as an artist, and so you can't make me doubt.
Right. And I like to say I came up with this thought before I met you guys. So it's like that. You know what I'm saying? I came up with this thought by myself. Yeah. God sent me this thought. And now I started going for it. Now I'm meeting all of you guys. Yep. So now it's up to you to keep leveling up and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like when you hit them challenges and stuff like that, what another thing I like to relate to as far as like getting confirmation from people and stuff like that. I feel like when you're chasing your dreams as a artist, a lot of times in the beginning, when you're at the beginning stages of chasing your dreams, you get more recognition from strangers, people who don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Facts. And I feel like that's where I get my confirmation of like, nah, this is for me. This is where I need to be. Because it's like the people that know you, they've seen you struggle, they've seen you fail, they've seen you try this, try that. And these strangers, when they giving you this feedback of like, yo, you killed it tonight. Yo, you did great. Yo, you sound great. It's like a confirmation from God. I feel like that's like, yo, you need to keep going. Don't stop.
Absolutely. And one thing that I've learned is that family and friends, they do support. Most of the time they do support, but it's also because they are so familiar with you. And I think it's not a sense of jealousy or anything like that. It's just because they know you.
Right.
And because they know you, sometimes it's hard. They may support you and wish you well, but it's just sometimes it's hard for them to envision you as you. It's hard to envision you as people see you, as those strangers see you. I've had people fly in to see me in stuff that I never met them.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh. And you get a DM, or you get, oh, great show, blah blah blah. We flew in from San Antonio, we flew in from Atlanta, we did and it's like, oh,
a boost of confidence, motivation.
It's like, it's like I've never met you before in person or even online, and you saw fit to come see a show
and enjoyed my entertainment.
Exactly. And then your family and friends, they do support, they do pray for you and wish you well and things like that. But it's sometimes just like, oh, I grew up with, man. Okay, we got the same grandma.
Yeah. Let's wait until we see him on a billboard or something. We'll hit him up and say congrats.
Yep. I did one thing. I was in a French magazine not too long ago.
Dope.
2 years ago maybe, and one of my family members was like, "Oh, I thought that was just something you made off the internet." I'm like, "Well, no."
Nigga, go typing it on Google. You see the official copyright print.
I was like, well, no. And then when they saw the actual book, they was like, oh,
good job.
Like
keep
that.
going.
I'm like, okay, like, yeah. Why would I create?
Buy some of my tickets? I'm on my next show.
You know, but
yeah,
but no, you do find that people, or having music, doing your analytics and seeing that people were listening to you in London or South Africa or Nigeria or things like that, outside of, Philly and your surrounding areas. It's just like, oh, okay.
Motivation is fuel to the fire. Let's go. We're going to keep turning up. How did your parents support you, like when you started acting and stuff like that? When you told them, hey, this is what I want to do for my career. I want to be an actor.
Well, like I said, my grandmother pretty much raised me. So that was the person that I really had the conversation with. And like I said earlier, she didn't want me to be on somebody's casting couch. And so her thing was, as long as my grandbaby has their degree, I know that they are not going to be on some street somewhere, which, although life happens and you never know what will happen to anybody. But in her mind was, you went to school, you got an education and something that you like.
You got a stepping stool.
And you don't have to be beholden to anybody for anything. You don't have to sell yourself or sacrifice your morals or who you are to achieve something, because you have a way to sustain yourself until this happens. And her thing was, yes, you're talented. Yes, you can act. Yes, you can sing. But there's always somebody better.
Right.
And just because you are gifted and talented doesn't mean that you're going to be the one to make it. Not saying you can't, not saying you won't, but keep in mind that have a backup plan, which is not bad. And, keep God first. And if it's meant to happen, then it will. And if not, you still have your talent, but you also have money in the bank account.
Right. Absolutely. So. That's solid right there. Yep. So you said something about like selling your soul and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, what's your opinion on that? What do you think? Like, what do you think? You think there's a real Illuminati out here or something? Like, what's going on? Like,
I don't know.
What, when actors put on a dress and stuff like that? Like, would you put on a dress? Like, if you got, they offered you a nice check and say, yeah, you just got to put the dress on and act like Big Mama's House 4.
Well, one of them me doing Big Mama's House 4.
Should I do it?
I think to each his own. I will say that I've done a play where I've been naked on stage before.
God damn, yeah, no Diddy.
But
I don't think I would do that one.
It was in silhouette.
This is a play that's never getting shown again.
No, it was like 13 nights, but it's about,
Yeah,
it's
you could
wartime.
probably go find it. Somebody
you
got the
can't-
footage.
No, you can't find it.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
No,
Nah, I
you
get.
can't find it.
That's
No.
some OnlyFans shit.
Extra money in pockets. No.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, to each his own. I think you have to kind of know who you are and what is your foundation. Um, Entering in this business, and I think there are people who have sacrificed time with family, friends, building relationships, marriages, relationships with their children, uh, relationships with themselves, which I think is probably the most important relationship we'll ever have.
Right.
Is with ourselves. But you have to understand that every decision has a cause and effect, a consequence or a reward. And depending on what you decide to give up, uh, are you going to be okay dealing with that if the reward doesn't happen like you wanted? And so I know that there are people, we've seen that there are people who have uh, sold themselves for an idea of a dream, and then they're used, and you can take that however you want it, but they're used, and then what they thought they were going to get, they never attain. And so that leads to, thoughts of committing self-harm or people leading into alcohol and drug addiction.
Give an
and things like
example
that.
of who. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh,
Because you're saying giving too much and not receiving what you expected. Like that, you talking about Illuminati, like what selling your soul and stuff. Like, how does that?
I would say maybe somebody, and this is just, I only go off what's already out there, but I just take somebody like, was it Orlando Brown? I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah. No, he's shot out right now.
But you think about
right now, he started That's So Raven. I used to watch that.
But he was on TV even before that. So you just think about someone like that who started young in the business, and then you're around all these impressionable adults, men and women who you're their meal ticket, and so sometimes they will forego. They may see something, a different, an improper relationship or improper mannerisms or body language from somebody,
right?
Or the kid starts acting out and having these behavior issues that they didn't have before, and sometimes people will forego that because you're getting a check. I'm living off of you, and not really tending to the needs of that boy or girl. And then you grow up in a business where it's, you can't be either you need to be too thin, or you can't be too fat, or you can't, I don't know about that, but that too, I guess.
Yeah, that's where he went. He used to go to them shits. That's what he talk about, yeah.
Well, but you should never
exposed to certain stuff.
Even Usher, that's one who, he was asked would he send his kids to hang with people like Diddy when they were his age, and he said flat out, hell no.
Right.
So you think about somebody like that who has attained the height of heights when it comes to entertainment, but when he's home by himself in the mirror, what does he see? Who does he see?
Yeah.
Staring back at him? Is he okay with living with that?
Right. And I seen this. I was watching a Kanye West documentary last night. I love watching it. I watched it again. But his mom said, a giant, everybody sees a giant, but what does a giant see when he looks in the mirror? And a giant sees nothing when he looks in the mirror. So, you know what I'm saying? Perception is reality in life. Is. You know what I mean? And I feel like, different opportunities are going to come depending on what field and what sport you're in. And if you stay true to yourself and true to your fans and just be respectful,
yes,
I feel like entertainment is just fun. Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Would you put the dress on?
Back to the dress. I don't know. Well, I'll never say no.
Right.
Put it that, but I'll never say no, because I'm a person. I'm the type of actor that believes that every story has the right to be heard. And so my gift in acting is I'm here to tell the stories of the human experience. And so I never judge the characters that I am blessed to play.
Right.
But I know that there's something that can be learned from myself. And I learn empathy through characters. I learn empathy for myself and empathy for other people's situations that I may not otherwise have thought of in my normal day-to-day being.
Right.
So who knows?
You ever had a role that you played that you ended up getting like stuck in, or like a role that was like kind of really tough for you to play? Like that challenged your acting, like, damn, like, for me, example, right? I like to do funny acts and stuff. I'm a comedian, you know what I mean? So now I got an opportunity to do a serious role, and now I got to kind of like, snap into that mode. You know what I'm saying? So like, did you have any roles where
Well, before that, I will say that is a good thing, because if you look at a lot of the good comedians, a lot of comedians are also great at dramas. So that is a good stepping stone for you.
Amen. Thank God. Yeah.
It's definitely a good direction for you.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah. Twisted Obsession coming soon. Yeah.
Comedians.
Shout out Christopher English, man.
I don't know.
Every role you got was like a easy breeze for you, like.
I'll probably say the Shaw role, because in that I have to use firearm in that and commit violence against someone, and so I'm not necessarily a violent person by nature, but having to go to that dark place of being this violent person who is cursing and beating somebody up and stuff like that. I don't just go around beating somebody up. I'm 5'7". I'm not right. I can't fight, but that's not my MO.
Right.
But I think when I had to shoot those scenes, I had to be in a particular headspace, and I kind of channeled some of my uncles and some of the other men in my family, and hearing some of their stories of how they grew up in Philly and what they had to do. So I kind of used that as my
ammunition, your fuel. Yeah.
But I probably that.
Dope. What has been your most fun, like your funnest experience thus far? Because you got a lot to go, and you got a lot of big events coming.
I appreciate that. Yes.
God's will, you know what I'm saying? What has been your most fun set that you've been on and stuff that you enjoyed the most? Because you've been in plays, sing. What has been the most?
I think your
most memorable moment.
Yeah. Most memorable was probably Hustle with Adam Sandler and Queen Latifah, and that's twofold. One, we were filming one of the scenes out on the basketball courts, and it's a scene they're playing for money, I think, like that. But Queen Latifah is sitting on the bleacher, and I'm like 3 seats down from her or whatever. But when they finished the take, in Philly, this is on an open playground, so there are like boys and girls, oh my God, Queen Latifah, blah, 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 oh my God, okay, blah, blah. And so normally you would think that the celebrities would just kind of, I'm done, all right, see y'all, hi, bye, I'm getting in my car with my driver.
Right, they was very friendly and to their audience, to their fans.
When she was done, she said something to her bodyguard, and he stepped back, and she went over to the fence and spent probably 15 or 20 minutes talking to each of the kids, signing autographs and taking pictures. And I was like, oh, you're real down to earth. Like, this is okay.
Right. And I like people that are like that. You know what I'm saying? People that, chase their success and become very successful, and they give and they continue to give back to their fan base. You know what I'm saying? Because shout out Kanye West, but he used to, we used to, I don't know. Nowadays, he's not giving back to his fans and stuff. And he's just like, leave me alone. But he's still stepping outside and being on camera. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you feel a certain type of way.
Girlfriend dressed. Never mind.
Yeah, outrageous. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I agree with you on that. But I like a person, when you become a superstar icon, share your light.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't feel like sharing your light that day, stay home.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Go out the back door.
Yep.
But when the people see you, give them that light and that inspiration, because that could be the next one right there. And that day that you shunned them off, You know what I'm saying? You put a loophole in their journey, so to say, depending on how you see it. But like I say, all the superstars out there, continue to share your light, man, and you know it'll come back to you. You know, all the opportunities will keep coming back to you, and your brand, your business will continue to grow, man.
Facts.
Yeah, I believe that.
And I mean, and I agree with that 100%. And that's also twofold, because sometimes we as human beings can get really excited. Oh my God, that's my idol. That's my, this person. Oh my God. But also remember that I say we because I plan on doing great things. I say
Absolutely, 100%.
We are human
One life.
beings. And so we have thoughts and feelings, and there are days that we may not feel up to it. So if we could just remember to be respectful of each other's spaces.
Right.
And I think if we can remember to be respectful of each other's spaces, then there's wiggle room to say, hey, I'm having a kind of a day right now. I can't sign autographs right now, but I can take a picture, or I can't take a picture, but I can sign something. So just remember that your superstars and celebrities and people that you see on camera or you hear them in music and stuff, they're human beings. People, athletes, they're all human beings as well.
Just like you.
Yeah. The other experience, most fun I've had, again, was on the set of Hustle, where I was nervous to speak to Adam Sandler. So we were shooting over there by Geno Steaks.
Yeah, and Adam Sandler's a chill dude.
He really is. I mean, I didn't. You don't understand how chill somebody is until you're in it. And we're coming back from break, getting ready to set up the shot, and so he's walking with this iced coffee, and I looked at him and I just said, "Oh, is that Starbucks?" And he's like, he sips it and says, "Nah, but it's still kind of chill." I said, "Oh, okay." And he says, "So what do you want to hear?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" "Oh, we're about to play some music." So he goes and grabs this it was a boombox, but he grabs a boombox and he comes over and he's like, "I'm just gonna put on some music and we're gonna dance a little bit." I'm like, "You do electric slide?" He's like, "Nah, I don't do that." I said, "No,
Yeah.
we're gonna do electric slide."
You should have said Cotton Eye Joe.
Nah. It's like,
they love that Cotton Eye Joe.
You are hilarious.
They love that shit.
And so he puts the music on and it's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do the that." And I was like, "Yes, we are." And so literally, him and I start doing the electric slide. Now I'm doing the electric slide with Adam Sandler, and him and I doing the electric slide turns into the rest of the actors coming around and joining in, which turns into them the crew bringing the cameras and
great
filming
energy.
Some of it. And then that led to, after we finished filming, that led to a dance battle with, not me, but that led to a dance battle with other actors and stuff like that. And while that didn't make it in the movie, it was one of the highlights in some of the behind the scenes footage. And so it's just like, one, I was nervous to speak to you because I'm like, oh my God, it's Adam Sandler. Two, I get past my nerves and actually speak to you like a human being, and you're down to earth. And then we create this moment that I'll never forget, even if he doesn't.
That's what I'm talking about.
But that's something that I hold with me that I can impart to other people.
Yes, as a newcomer to the sport, growing up, and it's motivation. It's a beautiful thing, man. That's dope, man. Shout out Adam Sandler, man.
Adam
he got
Sandler.
Happy Gilmore 2 coming out soon. It's going to be coming on
Are
Netflix,
you in that?
man. No, hell no. One day.
Why'd you say hell no?
Well, because I mean,
they filmed already. So
yeah. I say hell no because I'm just getting started. You know what I'm saying? Adam, if you need me, come get me. Todd Lawrence, host of the One Life podcast, man. Yeah, I show up.
Shout out to the One Life podcast.
Yeah, I'll be on time. You know what I'm saying? I'm a black nigga, come on time. I'll be there 30 minutes early.
Oh, well, you come on time. Okay,
yeah,
you're on time. You arrive on time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tell people come 30 minutes late, though. You know what I'm saying? Give me extra time to set up and shit. Hey, man. So, Beaux, man, you said your goals in life right now are being a part of the soap opera.
Yeah.
You want to be in some Marvel entertainment. You would like to do HBO series and new music series. Talk about that.
Like again, I just soap operas. I mean, your aunties and grandmoms and stuff. I mean, if you can make it on a soap opera, that is at least a minimum of 2-3 year contract. Mm-hmm. And so you're in somebody's home every day,
right?
And that
we got like 10 minutes. It's blinking, but yeah, we good.
Do that every day, and that's something that people will recognize you, and it's a steady income. Marvel Entertainment. I'm just a big fan of the X-Men. and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so I have some ideas of who I think I could be in that. And I think Marvel is doing a good job with superhero films and action. And then
so you want to write some songs and stuff, some new music?
I'm already in the studio working on new material. Singing is my first love.
Yes.
I like to really, really paint pictures with my voice.
Any songs out right now on Spotify, SoundCloud,
Absolutely.
where they can find you?
My EP Casual Luxury is on Apple, Tidal, anywhere you can get music. Song shout out to Cam De La and G Samuels and Don Michael Jr. for helping me produce, write, and co-write, and Mark Bueller. But a song called Better, a song called Mondays, which I love. If you hate Mondays, you can play that every Monday morning. And that'll get you going. Yeah, I'm just here to serve as an artist, as a storyteller. So,
amen.
Wherever that takes me, I'm going.
We doing it. One Life Podcast, episode number 38. So one question I love to ask all of my talented guests that come on the One Life Podcast. Okay. This is One Life Podcast, episode number 38 with Beaux Emerson. What is some positive advice that you could give the crowd and our audience watching, people out there chasing their dreams on their road to a successful lifestyle with this One Life? What is some great advice you could give the people out there?
Be yourself. I know that sounds so cliche, but be yourself. Everyone else is taken. There's no one else with your DNA that will ever exist inside and outside of time. You are unique. You are gifted. You are talented. And the other thing I would say is to be present. Be where your feet are. And where your feet are is in the moment, because you can't worry about what happened yesterday, and you can't worry about what happened tomorrow, what's coming tomorrow. So be present. And you're the only you. You're unique.
That's dope right there. My man, Beaux Emerson, man. One Life Podcast, episode number 38.
Thank you for having me.
There you have it, man. You got anything you want to tell the people? Look out for you on certain things, or got businesses going right now?
Man.
Find you on Instagram.
Just find me on Instagram, Beaux Emerson, one word. And new music coming soon, but for right now, you can check me out on anywhere streaming is, and you can check out my films on Amazon Prime. That's Shaw 2, Victims of Injustice. You can watch me on Hustle, Death Saved My Life, Making Good, and that's about it for right now. Stay tuned.
My man, One Life Podcast, episode number 38. There you have it, Beaux Emerson.
The One Life Podcast.
Thank you for coming through, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, this was a beautiful episode.